Hello and welcome to the Atlanta Motor Speedway here for the Quaker State 400. It's another round of the NASCAR Pepsi Cup Series. Tonight, we will have an amazing race in store. I am Michael Avery, and I am joined by my partner, Sean Winship.
Hello, everyone. It's a great night for racing, and it's going to be interesting to see what will happen down here in Georgia.
Indeed, have to agree with you, Sean. The first thing that we have to say to start off tonight's broadcast, we have to talk about the sketchiness of this racetrack, especially coming off of turn two. So far, we've had three major incidents that have started off in turn two.
Yeah, as we see here from yesterday afternoon's Truck Series race, Chase Elliott in the 35 just loses it all by himself and wrecks hard into the wall.
Yeah, big hit for Chase Elliott, who will race today. Said he's fine, but he should be all right. Then Ben Rhodes went around in the same spot, collecting numerous other trucks. The big one happens again. And then later in the Mountain Dew Series race just afterwards, Justin Bonsignor lost it, and he hit hard into the wall in turn two. Again, turn two, as you mentioned, big problem, just like Chase Elliott.
3 big crashes in 2 races. Just keep an eye out on turn 2 in tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen.
Turn 2 seems to be Calamity Corner. Moving on, due to a threat of rain, we have received word that tonight's race will be moved up by a few minutes, meaning, Sean, let's see our ones to watch here. Gotta move it a little bit quickly here so we can get all the racing in.
Well, Michael, to start off, you have to look at Ross Chastain. He has had a disappointing season so far, but he looks to rebound with a good starting spot tonight. He ran great at Pocono before getting caught up in an unfortunate accident.
Yeah, Ross has had a tough year to start season 7 in that Busch Light machine, but his old rival Denny Hamlin has joined him in the Suckers Club. Can he get things turned around tonight before it's too late?
Hopefully so. Another driver who's in the Sucker Club, at least in real life, Kyle Busch, looks to find victory lane for the first time in a long time tonight. He has had some fast cars here and trucks here if you look at the Truck Series results, so look out for that 8 machine tonight.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Kyle Busch has not won a race in the 8 car or since he moved from the 18 to the 8 in Pepsi Cup competition. If I'm incorrect, Ethan will correct me in post-editing. But Martin Truex Jr., a big storyline. He makes his racing return tonight after his announcement of retiring at the end of season 6. He's come back in that 56 car. Will we see him come to the front? I think we will.
I think that would bring back a lot of old memories from some older fans of the Pepsi Cup Series. But on the last story in the line from tonight, Riley Herbst will switch to the 35 car for the remainder of the season. Will this bring him some newfound success after some early season struggles?
We'll have to see. I guess we'll have to see. And finally, another driver change, kind of. Michael McDowell comes in tonight looking to win in Atlanta, as every driver does, but this time he's got a new car driving the 71, his new permanent ride. Can he find victory lane? It's almost time to find out. We will be right back in Atlanta. Do not go anywhere.
Milwaukee Road, Milwaukee Road, the Milwaukee Road, the Milwaukee Road, the Milwaukee, the Milwaukee's, the Milwaukee Road, the Milwaukee Road, the Milwaukee Road, Milwaukee Road, the Milwaukee Road, the Milwaukee Road, the Milwaukee Road, the Rock Island.
Welcome back to the Quaker State 400 pre-race show here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's not Echo Park. They are telling you, don't listen to the big corporate people. It's time to try and beat the rain, so let's go trackside for pre-race ceremonies.
Please rise and remove your caps as we honor America with the singing of the national anthem.
Sean, it's almost time to fire those engines. Just had the national anthem. I'm feeling so patriotic, but there's still one thing left to decide. Who wins tonight?
Well, if you look at the track record and the aggression factor, there's only one choice for me. The Hurricane, Carson Mohon. That 77 car looks fast as always, so I think he gets the win tonight.
Yeah, I think that's a great pick, Sean. Carson Mohon in the 77. The Hurricane, always causing chaos at these super speedway style racetracks. But I'm going to have to go with quite the opposite. William Byron, he's currently your points leader by a significant margin, and he has all the momentum in the world right now. I think he will be hard to beat tonight, and I think you'll see that 24 vehicle in victory lane. Now, let's get things started with the command to fire those engines here in hot Atlanta.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to give the command for today's race, Blake.
What's up, everybody? Let's get this party started. Drivers, start your engines.
The engines have been fired on pit road, and we are ready to go racing. On the other side, Ethan Shield and Timothy Brown will take you through tonight's action. We'll send up to them now.
Hello and welcome everyone to Atlanta Motor Speedway. I am Ethan Shield, joined here in the booth by Timothy Brown.
Hello guys, we're at Atlanta.
Yeah, getting ready for what should be a very fun race this evening. Things sped up tonight here in Atlanta because of potential rain in the area, but the track is dry and the skies are currently clear, so we are getting ready to go racing here. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineup, and on the front row we have Ryan Blaney alongside Chase Briscoe.
And in row 2, we got William Byron next to Carson Mohon.
Row 3, we have Joey Logano alongside Ross Chastain.
In row 4, we got Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson, best friends.
Row 5 is Chase Elliott alongside Ryan Preece.
Row 6 is Alex Bowman next to Michael McDowell.
Row 7, we have Brad Keselowski and Zane Smith.
Row 8, AJ Allmendinger next to Connor Zillage.
Row number 9, we have Kyle Busch alongside Chandler Smith.
Rounding out your top 20, it's Tyler Reddick next to Ethan Shield himself.
Row 11, we have John Hunter Nemechek alongside Matt DiBenedetto.
In row 12, we got Todd Gilliland next to Noah Gregson.
Row 13 is Christopher Bell and Shane Van Gisbergen.
Row 14 is Cody Ware next to Justin Haley.
Row 15, we have Chris Buescher and Martin Truex Jr., who returns to the Cup Series for a race.
And then in row 16, we got Nick Morris next to Riley Herbst.
Row 17, it's Ty Gibbs and Eric Jones.
Row 18 is Justin Allgaier in the 10 next to Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Row 19, we have Josh Berry and Austin Gillen.
And then rounding up your field today in 39th is Bubba Wallace.
So that's your starting lineup. Here's your race info. 30 laps tonight, so a relatively quick race. It is a drafting track, and obviously the thing that can make this race longer is the big one. Watch out for it. You know how these super speedway races are, Tim. When one car gets turned around, so many people can pile into that mess. As we get ready to see the green flag, we are underway in Atlanta.
As we exit turn number 2 for the first time today, Ryan Blaney and Chase Briscoe side by side. Briscoe starts to pull out ahead, and he's going to be clear for the race lead as we enter turn 3.
Really dark there down on the back straightaway. It looks like some of the infield lights are out as Chase Briscoe will come out of turn number 4 to lead the opening lap. He's got Carson Mohon in the 77 pushing him.
Yeah, it's quite dark. I wonder if the lights will magically turn on in a couple laps or so. But there's a 4-car train in the outside line. They're going to try and clear for the lead, and they do. That's Larson and Chastain. Now Priest 5th in line.
Yeah, maybe it'll just be like a gateway kind of thing, or like a Kansas 2014. There goes Ross Chastain to the bottom. He's the first to break the single file line. He pulls up into second. Hocevar tries to get back, but can't quite do it. He'll settle in the line for now.
Yeah, a little early for a leapfrog, but nonetheless, Chastain gets it clear and done and is up to second. Meanwhile, down the back straightaway, we got about a 7-car single file train now on the outside line.
Yeah, they're all biding their time right now, which to me is kind of weird because I would think when you still have fresher tires, you'd want to make, moves before it gets tougher and the cars handle worse, because this isn't Daytona and Talladega. And once these cars handle worse, it's going to be a lot harder to pass. In a couple of laps, I expect the run to pretty much be forced to be like this, because it's going to be tough to pass as the field really compressing there. And now Chastain goes to the inside. He'll take the lead. No, not quite. Actually, yes, he gets help from Carson Mohon. Ross Chastain takes the lead, and Chase Briscoe gets absolutely hung to dry.
The Chevys hang Briscoe out to dry as we come down the back. Oh, and Denny Hamlin hard into the outside wall. Chase Elliott is collected involved in it. And 2 more cars against the wall. That is Ryan Priest and Ryan Blaney.
Big hit into the outside wall for Denny Hamlin. And another race goes south for him quickly. It was a blown engine at Pocono. He ran out of fuel in Allentown. Daytona came up short. Nothing has gone right for the 11. And here you see turn 2, which has been a problem so far, takes Ryan Priest. He just loses it on his own and collects Hamlin and Elliott.
Yeah, just gets loose there on the high line, and man, Denny Hamlin with a huge hit. Right there, takes out Chase Elliott as well. I think he might be okay. Blaney also nowhere to go, kind of is in the wall, gets into the back of Priest maybe a little bit, but really Hamlin with a huge hit there. Oh, so is Priest. Priest has a pretty nice shot to the right front as well.
Yeah, Chase Elliott looks to be fine. I'm surprised the toe link or something isn't just completely out of whack after where it looked like he got hit in the rear tire there, but we get ready to go back green with the choose. It'll be Ross Chastain on the bottom. Yay! It'll be Ross Chastain on the bottom and Kyle Larson up top for this next restart as we come out of turn number 4. Pace car hits pit road, and here we go. Green flag once again.
Now, I wonder how these Chevys are going to work together here. They obviously got by Briscoe there a couple laps ago before the caution came out. But Briscoe's still in 4th. He's still up at the front, but he is literally swarmed by about 7 Chevrolets.
Yeah, I mean, it's complete Chevy dominance right now at the front with a couple of Fords thereafter. There are no Toyotas until you saw Tyler Reddick at the very back of the frame there, outside of Chase Briscoe. And it looks like those Chevys are going to take the top 4 spots with Joey Logano leading that bottom line now, as it looks like they're just going to settle in once again up along the top.
I wonder if they're worried about the cars stepping out on themselves on the exit of the corners. You see a full field shot there. It's like a helicopter camera from the moon. But Chastain is going to still pull away with his 3 other buddies there, and the whole pack is sitting side by side, 3 wide in the back too.
The Martians are coming as they're 3 wide down the back straightaway. That main pack is really racing at it, and you can see the top 4 are just pulling away right now. Logano clears, but they are 3 wide throughout right now.
Yeah, and look at Noah Gragson. I almost said something else, but Noah Gragson is moving up to 5th, and he's going to try and catch these leaders. Oh, and Logano got into the wall a little bit there, but they're 3 wide throughout the entire field back there.
Yeah, Ross Chastain, meanwhile, leads up at the front of the field. You see Carson Mohon there in second. It looks like that main pack is sorted things out for about the first 5 cars, maybe, as Smith, Reddick, Nemechek lead that charge. They're slowly gaining, but now Reddick decides the Toyotas want some freedom. He will go around on the bottom.
And now Reddick leads that line, still 3 wide throughout most of the pack back there. But John Hunter Nemechek in the 42, who's had a couple iffy weeks so far this season, he's going to try and push a 45 and try and catch these top 4 leaders.
Yeah, Nemechek could use some points here. I mean, we're 3 laps away from halfway when we hit the line here, so that'll be a chance for points for him. If he could just hang on, and he gets turned hard into the outside wall for the 42. The 17 of Chris Buescher is involved. You have the 20 of Christopher Bell, and a big hit into the outside wall.
Oh my goodness, what a shot that was. That was the worst possible spot on the racetrack you could hit. You know, Denny Hamlin's wreck was pretty bad, but that 42 just took 5 times worse than that right there. I mean, you hit the dog leg, head on, full speed, and man, he almost flipped over. You don't see that in the next gen car.
Yeah, I think he got hit as he hit the wall there. Just a huge impact for him. And virtually every Toyota has been wiped out of this race outside of Tyler Reddick now. Being Bubba Wallace, Chase Briscoe, Christopher Bell, obviously John Hunter. And as we currently sit under the red flag, we are going to head down to the studio with Michael Avery and Kobe Lavin here to give you a couple updates before we go back green.
Thanks for that, Ethan. Well, it's been a pretty exciting race, and I think it got a little too exciting for the drivers because we're currently under red flag coverage here. So we're going to recap the race so far. Big crash for John Hunter Nemechek. That's the reason why we are under the red flag, as he caused the big one. Not surprising to see here at Atlanta.
Yeah, Michael, 15 cars involved in the big one, as we'll see the replay for the first time. And John Hunter Nemechek just flying through the air. A terrible, terrible crash. You gotta hope he's all right after that wild, wild ride.
Yeah. We hardly see these Gen 7 cars get airtime at Atlanta. So such a vicious crash into the outside wall. And yeah, serious airtime for John. We saw Chase Briscoe in that wreck as well, so tough break for him. He was running pretty good all night, as well as both Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch, so we will not see the Kyle and Kyle show for the rest of the night.
Yeah, Kyle Busch, one of the pre-race favorites. Most of the Toyotas were involved in this accident too. Just an overall massive, massive accident.
Yeah. Yeah, and as we're still currently under the red flag, still no word on whether the yellow will come out within the next few moments. Let's talk about Ross Chastain. We were talking about how he's been in the sucker club in the pre-race show, but right now he's done a good job to get out of it. That one car has been dominant so far, lights out.
Yeah, they say the best way to stay out of trouble is to be at the front of it, to be completely honest. And so far tonight, Chastain has done just that. He's led 10 of the 14 laps completed so far in tonight's race.
You know, that statement's definitely held true. I mean, if you're out in front, you can't get caught in the trouble as long as you aren't the trouble. And William Byron, my pre-race pick, he's stayed out of trouble so far tonight. Points leader, he just needs to survive. And so far in this war of attrition we've had, he's been doing just that.
That is 100% correct. Byron will easily hold his ground at the top of the point standings with the run so far, especially since one of his biggest threats in the points tonight, Ryan Preece, sits in the garage after being involved in the big one.
Yeah. And I am now just getting word, and we are about to see in just a few moments, the cars are about to start rolling, going to be back under the caution flag, but we have a few more things to talk about before we head back up to the main commentary booth with Ethan and Tim. So, Sean, what do you think we should look out for now that the red flag has been lifted and now it's really starting to become go time?
Well, Michael, despite the cooler night temperatures, this has been a handling race so far. Turn 2 has already claimed quite a few victims if you look across the 3 series. I would expect more of that. With less cars, runs will be much harder to start, so it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out here in the remaining laps.
I think it's gonna be a hell of a race. You definitely don't want to miss it. We're gonna send it back up to the booth with Ethan Shield and Timothy Brown. They will give you the call to the finish, guys.
Thanks for that, Michael. Rolling once again here in Atlanta, Ross Chastain leads the way. Carson Hocevar is behind him. As you can see, many of these crashed cars repairing their damage in the pits. Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, Chandler Smith. And now, here we go. We have pit stops, so let's head down to our pit reporters for some reports.
Ross Chastain loves the balance of his car. He'll take 4 tires and fuel.
Despite being really fast, Carson Mohon wants his car to turn more. 4 tires, fuel, and a ledge adjustment for the number 77.
AJ Allmendinger will get a chassis adjustment, 4 tires and fuel for the 16, and he is away.
Ross Chastain wins the race off of pit road over Carson Hocevar and William Byron here, as we will now get ready to choose for the restart. So Chastain has dominated this race. He needs to hang on here, and this is solid points for him after a shaky start to the season. As we get ready to restart, halfway we'll be at the end of this lap, and then obviously it's crunch time. Green flag back in the air.
You know, for a driver, I feel like who's had a pretty good season and there's at 41 cars so far, and he's found his way up to 6th, maybe even 5th right now. But as we come down the back straightaway, Chastain in the lead.
Oh,
Oh!
we have contact. Tyler Reddick turned out of line, back up in front of the pack. It's the big one here in Atlanta. 5, 6, 7 cars involved. Larson's in it again. Elliott is in another crash. There's Michael McDowell doing the crab walk. Everybody torn up in this. I see Noah Gragson in there. Another red flag, just a lap after the previous one. Ty Gibbs has a piece of it. So many cars.
Just wadded up the whole field of whoever was left after the first big one. There's maybe a dozen cars max on the back stretch right now. Wow, a huge crash.
It was brewing, and apparently it was brewing twice. So many cars knocked out again as we see the restart and the run up to the big one. As here are your halfway results now. Ross Chastain beats AJ Allmendinger and Carson Hocevar. So you see the rest of the top 10 there at the bottom of your screen. It looked like it was really just a bunch of cars pushing each other, and eventually they all just kind of lost it.
It almost looks like the NASCAR Cup Series big one at Atlanta last year. It's kind of different because Reddick comes down the track, hits the inside wall, comes back up, and everyone kind of just piles in. That's just kind of how wrecks happen when they enter turn 3, because you can't really go down because you eventually come back up onto the banking anyways. But a huge crash there. That's at least half the fields, if not more, probably 3/4 of the field that was left. See Noah Gragson involved in there in the 48, McDowell, Nick Morris, Elliott again. So too many cars to count.
17 cars. Wow. So the big one happens here in Atlanta. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Atlanta, everyone. Rolling once again after the big one strikes to enter in turn 3 for the second time in this race. Ross Chastain, the leader, the halfway winner as well. So that'll be 25 points for him, as there you see the choose. And we're getting ready to go back racing here with 14 laps to go. Coming out of turn 4, Chastain on the high line, Hocevar on the bottom, green flag.
I don't know if I counted correctly. Is that 15 cars left in the field? It looks like a Home Depot Cup Series field lineup right there. But they're dead even for the lead down the backstretch.
Yeah, not a lot of cars left, and there's only about 8 cars maybe that are fresh and undamaged in this field right now.
Oh my goodness, this is shaping up to be the 2025 race all over again.
Yeah, I mean, just not a lot of cars left. I mean, look at that. There's 8, 9 cars in the lead draft right now, and they're all just going single file right now, biding their time, because there's no reason to do that again. We don't want a 1-car race, you know, for the final 10 laps because they all wreck again. And I think these drivers understand that, as AJ Allmendinger decides he wants to lead this race a little, and the 16 car gets up in front of the field.
Oh, but Chastain wants to do it again. He wants to leapfrog and take his spot back in the lead, but he can't get back in line. He can't make the slide job. Allmendinger and Byron are going to clear him for that spot, and we'll see if Chastain loses any more spots. He looks like he'll be okay for now as Kyle Larson goes to the garage.
Yeah, Larson has a lot of damage. He was already about half a lap down and just decided to pull it off the track there as Chastain caught a break because his rookie teammate, Connor Zilic, let him in. Zilic has been having a good season.
Whoa!
Turns Austin Dillon around, and the caution is back out.
Osavar being aggressive, per usual, but I don't think he was clear there to get back up in line.
Yeah, no, misjudged it a little bit, and this will give AJ Allmendinger the race lead here over William Byron and Ross Chastain. As there you see what happened, and yeah, he just completely misjudged it trying to pass the 41 of Alex Bowman there.
Yeah, he had the room to get back up in line, but I don't think he realized how close he was in the back bumper of the 3, and just barely clipped him there. But yeah, definitely a misjudgment for sure. I mean, he definitely was one of the ones, or the one, to try and leapfrog his way through the field, but still in 5th.
Yeah, I mean, there were really only 2 or 3 cars that could leapfrog through the field earlier in this race. Maybe a bit more now that there's only 8 cars left, usually in the lead draft, but you know, that 77 car is one of the strong ones to look out for. So we get ready to go back racing. Green flag back in the air. Allmendinger and Chastain moving into the green.
I'm shocked that Elliott and Logano are meeting minimum speed. They're already losing the field before they get to the line. But Chastain, oh, here comes Hocevar outside 3 wide of Byron. But Chastain's going to try and take the lead back again.
Yeah, Chastain holding tough on that bottom line with help from teammate Connor Zilic there as Chase Elliott has a tire down now. Maybe that's why he was going so slow on the restart. He'll bring into pit road, and we do not have a caution.
That car looks destroyed. We just need to call it a day. Oh, no, with the 16 around of AJ Allmendinger's going to slide back up the track, maybe. No, he does not. We're going to keep it green, though, but here comes... Oh, but we have a caution now. The 88 of Shane Van Gisbergen is around in turn 3.
Oh, just disaster now for so many people. AJ Allmendinger.
What are we doing?
From the lead. I mean, this race has been an absolute wreckfest now. AJ Allmendinger turned around, and it was Hocevar. And Hocevar almost wrecked himself and the one of Ross Chastain as well. And then back in the pack.
Did he have a tire go down?
Yeah, I think the tire went down. That spin looked all by himself and really too quick to be natural of any kind. I think he lost it all on his own.
Yeah, that would have been a possible left, right, or right rear tire going down there. Back to Allmendinger. I think Allmendinger threw a bad block after Hocevar threw a bad block on Chastain, but you see the spin there for the 88. Austin Dillon involved in it again. Nowhere for him to go, but they should be okay. We've only had 6 cars not in crashes tonight. That's pretty rough.
Wow. Well, getting ready for the choose. We are going to have 3 laps to go on this restart. So not a lot of time to make things happen here if you're not in those first 2 rows. 3 to go. It'll be Chastain and Zilic on the front row. I think team orders, it's a bit out the window now that we're this late in the race. 3 laps to go. Will it be Chastain getting to victory lane, or will it be rookie teammate Connor Zilic getting his first career win? We're about to find out.
Well, he needed a better restart than that if he wanted to get his first win, because he got all the way back to 3rd, now 4th already for the 99. Here comes Hocevar for the lead, help with William Byron.
Coming around, 2 laps to go. Chastain got completely thrown out of line. He sits 3rd now, but can he get back to the front? Byron tries to get by the 77 and can't. He'll drop back to 2nd, and he allows the 1 to get to the outside.
Can Hocevar win his 2nd race of the season? He won Allentown, but Byron and Chastain trying to say no to that. They're trying to win the race here as they're side by side coming to the white flag. Here comes Chastain.
Ross Chastain on the bottom. He's going to take away the lead in the turn 1.
And Chastain's going to try and clear for the lead. He does as they come down the backstretch for the final time. Here comes Hocevar.
Big move on the inside. Hocevar trying to hang on. Coming out of turn 4. Hocevar with the advantage, but Chastain with the run. Ross Chastain's going to get him at the line and take the win in Atlanta in dramatic fashion on the final lap.
Good move there by Ross Chastain. It gets him the win here at Atlanta. Spares the field from having a Carson Hocevar second win of the season already. But look at that. Is that Cody Ware there in third?
That is Cody Ware sitting there in third. And your points leader, William Byron, has another good day, finishing 4th. And here's a look at your results. Justin Haley managed to finish 5th.
Wow. Shane still finished 7th after that tire going on the last caution. Bowman finishes 12th. I thought he would have done better than that. He might have gotten damaged somewhere or something. Logano barely limps the car home for 13th, being the last car on the field, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I believe you're right, because 14th would have been Chase Elliott, and he took it to the garage after he blew that tire right before the final caution of the race. Kyle Larson there in 15th. Then you have the giant list of everyone who was involved in the second big one. And then instantly after that, you'll have the giant list of everyone who was involved in the first big one. Another bad day for Denny Hamlin and also John Hunter Nemechek. They both sit deep in the points. You'll see them in the results in a bit. But let's just talk about them for a couple seconds here, because they need to get things turned around and fast.
Yeah. I mean, we cannot be consistently having terrible finishes. And Denny's been in a spot to win. He almost won Allentown. Daytona didn't go his way. He was involved in one of the big wrecks. And again here, I mean, involved in the first wreck and finishing 37th. So, not ideal.
Yeah, and I mean, John Hunter, too. He's had glimpses of speed, but not enough. I think Allentown was really the only race where he had a lot of speed, and he ended up blowing a tire and crashing out of that race. So here's a look at the point standings. Byron still holds over a 100-point gap. It actually grew over Alex Bowman here today, so not what the rest of the field wants to see, but we'll see if anyone can get enough momentum. I think Carson Hocevar is the one you got to watch there, and I'm surprised he's still third in the standings right now, despite how his season has gone.
Yeah, you see the rest of the field here. A lot of these guys having iffy seasons so far. You see Blaney, who was involved in that first wreck as well, way deep in the points for his standard of 26. I mean, if you're lower than Cody Ware right now, no offense to Cody Ware, we need to get some stuff going here, especially if you're a high caliber team.
Yeah, I mean, on the other end of that, nice job by Cody Ware, currently sitting 19th in the point standings. Not expected to be up there, and currently fighting for a mid-pack spot right now, and a lot of big names. Denny Hamlin, 27th. Bubba Wallace, 32nd. I mean, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and John Hunter Nemechek behind Carson Quatwell and Jimmy Johnson, who both only made one start. So, big struggles for them. How
many have Allgaier made?
Allgaier, I believe, is full-time, or has started every race this year, so
okay.
That's a little better. But we're going to head it down to the studio with Michael and Kobe.
Yeah, thanks, Ethan and Tim. What a race. Great call from you guys. Ross Chastain barely squeaks out a win over Carson Hocevar in a drag race. Absolutely photogenic moment.
Yeah, that one car was the most deserving driver tonight, as he ends up with the winning for once as well, helping to recover his just awful, awful season.
One car finishes in first place, but the 77 of Carson Hocevar, what a job by him. The car wasn't necessarily handling and turning how he wanted, but he was still able to make that thing corner, and he was able to maneuver wherever he wanted around Atlanta. Definitely my driver of the day, so look out for him.
I have to agree with you there, Michael. That was definitely a Dale Earnhardt-esque driving. Despite coming up short in the closing laps, he put that car in places it sure as hell belongs.
And great night for your points leader, William Byron. He had a massive lead in the championship, And because Ryan Preece and Alex Bowman's issues, of course, it will grow tonight. So William Byron got lucky, but sometimes you need luck in racing in order to pull off these great runs. And Byron, he was just quiet all night, but they're all race long. Great job by that 24 team yet again.
Yeah, another strong super speedway run, not just for Byron, but how about AJ Allmendinger as well? AJ was just a lap or so away from the Daytona 500 this season, and although he didn't win that, it was still just a great run. He definitely backed up that performance up tonight.
A lot of people forget about this, but AJ Allmendinger, he is a bit of a super speedway ace, although he's known for being a road course ringer. He's always up front at these drafting style racetracks, so he's always a threat, but he just goes under the radar, and with a great finish, he's definitely popping up on said radars. And with Watkins Glen coming up, AJ Allmendinger going to be a big threat. I mean, road course right up his wheelhouse. As long as Shane Van Gisbergen doesn't beat him to the punch, I think AJ is going to be the favorite to win at the Glen.
I 100% agree with you, Michael. Also, we are just about 5 minutes out from the checkered flag here at Atlanta, and the rain has just started to come down. It is drizzling.
Well, somehow we were able to fit this whole race in, even with a red flag, even with how attrition-filled this race has been. It feels like it's gone on forever, but we got it in. We got really lucky. So thank you, thank you, Mother Nature, for letting the rain subside for just a little bit. Good call by the officials to move this race up about 10 to 15 minutes, because that may have been the difference. I mean, fans despise when we get a rain-shortened victory. I mean, I get it. You didn't get to see the full race, I guess. But anyways, we got the full race in. What a race it was here in Atlanta. Ross Chastain emerges from the battle victorious on this 1.5-mile hybrid super speedway. From Cooperstown, Carson Mohon, and the Kit Kat Cup Series in the pits, to Ethan Shield and Timothy Brown in the booth, and my partner Sean Winship here on the Midway. I am Michael Avery, signing off from Atlanta.